It's no exaggeration to say this is one of the must-try spinning tops this year. This is the annual flagship new gyroscope from the OI Factory team. His name is Expulsion, and many other creators have explained about it. I'll just say something different. First, I prefer to use my ring finger to apply force when playing with a spinning top. Legend has it that the left hand has no name and a blood vessel on the finger connected to the heart. It is the place closest to the heart. Driven by the power of the heart, the city of the heart blooms with 6 petals, chasing each other, heart to heart, endless and unceasing. This is my interpretation of the name Expulsion. Next, I don't think Expulsion is called an opener gyroscope. The nail plate is on the outside on the surface. The destroyer should be called an open-close gyroscope, which is fully opened at the top of the mid-layer blade. Its turning radius is about 33 millimeters, making it very compact. Even for someone like me with small hands, I never have to worry about playing with it. The tips of the leaves will hit the tiger's mouth. Affects rotational speed. Furthermore, many complex types of gyroscopes have relatively small locks. At high speeds, single-finger support carries the risk of falling off, and the diameter of the expulsion lock is quite large. 25 millimeters. Can hold 2 fingers on it. It gives a strong sense of security, and as a complex type of opening and closing. So what's the core thrill of Euro expelling? Besides the beautiful lighting and shadows, the impact between the middle layer and the shell is one of the core thrills. And the feedback from the left and right hands is different. When the left hand waves, the shell and middle layer do not separate from misalignment. When your finger urgently stops the casing, the middle layer continues to rotate and collide with the shell under inertia. If it stays at 60 degrees, you'll hear a crisp pop. This feedback from sound and tactile feedback will prompt you to think. Continuing to start the next phase of fluctuation and force stop. The cycle repeats endlessly, very addictive. When the right hand does not move the shell rotates first. Driving the middle layer fully open, there is a pop of feedback here. During emergency stops, the middle layer burns up and overlaps with the shell. There was another loud response here. It is important to emphasize that whether the middle layer is closed, or the opening state after rotating 60 degrees, both the middle layer and the shell have magnets for attachment. This ensures that the middle layer can remain stable and stay in both states. It won't sway around. This means that when the right hand slowly tries to stop the car, this allows the middle layer to stay in a 60-degree unfolded state. Another highlight is that both the middle layer and the casing have reserved limit nitrate nail holes. When the nitrate nail falls motionless in the middle layer can open and close at a 60-degree angle. In this state, we play with the waves. You can fully experience the rotating opening and closing of the middle level. Flip to the bidirectional feedback of opening and closing at the tip of the blade. The sting nails naturally fall under gravity, trapped between the lower shell and the middle layer. At this point, the middle layer cannot be expanded. We experienced unidirectional opening and closing at the tip of the blade. If you disassemble the deportation and drive it out, it can also turn into 2 spinning tops. Both hands can enjoy the dual fun of a minimalist spinning top and a paper spinning top. It is important to emphasize that the bulk version of the sole will be highly regarded by the bad. The integrated center column won't be as cut corners like it is now. Some players might wonder, is there still room for optimization in expelling? Isn't the middle layer a bit thick? Will there be an improved version in the future? Let's follow along and look directly at the core middle layer structure. First, let's talk about the bulk version with pin fixing holes, where holes are reserved on both housings. Players can play differently depending on their left and right hands. Do you usually choose where to place the pin? 3 curved bead grooves work together with the beads. It can isolate the middle layer from the outer shell, providing a slightly smooth line. Ensure smooth opening and closing of the middle layer. At the same time, the impact between the bead and the end of the bead groove is also affected. It is the core source of sound and exhilarating. The size of the magnet is also very particular. The magnetism is too strong. This will prevent the middle layer from rotating and expanding. If the magnetic force is too weak, the adhesion is weak, unstable positioning. So depending on the size of the magnet, ultimately 3 mm beads and bead grooves were chosen. So the thickness of the middle layer can be said to be. This ensures a certain limit under the metal's strength. There are 6 screws on each side. This ensures absolute firmness in the lock. After pulling it open, you can see the top cut block. There are also beads. Bead slots and magnets work together. This ensures smooth opening and closing of the block and the satisfying impact sensation. It is important to emphasize that the bead grooves here are not horizontally aligned, but staggered vertically. This gives the slider plenty of room to swing left and right when unfolded. This is a very important design detail. If the bead groove aligns horizontally with the slider, there is no movement. When the volume forces the gyroscope to stop, it can cause the slider to close poorly, but the positions were misaligned. Bead grooves can greatly avoid this problem. Using a 2 mm size bead is already the limit. Once again, the middle layer can't be made thinner. So many clever structures come together. This proves that the public account has gone through more than 10 sample runs. Definitely not nonsense. A total of 17 parts are all CNC machined. This means the cost is definitely not low. In short, whether it's the city's modern golden armor or its beauty, it's still my product strength of After Flowers Bloom 100 Flowers Sand. The eviction is in 2024. Up to now, the top spinning top is the best to buy, bar none. If you have the budget, you can go for it with your eyes closed. If there are any drawbacks, the first is that the tip of the copper mount on the shell gets a bit scratchy. Hopefully, the bulk version will be improved. The second factor is weight, a bit heavy. However, this kind of complexity is usually heavy to handle with a gyroscope. Expelling is already well controlled. If my video has helped you, don't forget to give it a like, bookmark, share, follow and harvest recommendations. Bourgeois promise to go ahead. See you next time.